Hey, Shalom, Mashallah. I want to start off source by giving no praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshua, Ba'ashem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS, and honors to brothers doing the work in truth and sincerity. So, a quick one on what do you call this? Is air pollution and CO2 fall rapidly as virus spreads. So, this is levels of air pollutants and warming gases over some cities and regions are showing significant drops as coronavirus impacts work and travel. Or it's people can't go to work. You know, the big daily was on the rat race and all of that. People ain't doing that anymore. And yeah, so it's been having an impact. Less cars in the streets, all of those things. And the first time you really saw it was over here in China, right, where this was basically saying what the on the left is January the 1st to 20th, was it 1st to 20th, and February 10th to 25th in what do you call it, in China over there, and you basically see the difference, right? It says while it's early days, data collected in New York this week suggests that instructions to curb unnecessary travel are having a significant impact. Traffic levels in the city were estimated to be down 35% compared with a year ago. Emissions of carbon monoxide, mainly due to cars and trucks, have fallen by around 50% for a couple of days this week, according to researchers at Columbia University. Right. And it also says both China and northern Italy have also recorded significant falls in nitrogen dioxide, which is related to reduced car journeys and industrial activity. The gas is both a serious air pollutant and a powerful warming chemical. Right, it says, well, and this is fucked up things, because it's talking about aviation. I thought, when these travel bans came in, that these guys had just stopped flying their planes, right? But apparently for the longest time, I think now they have, don't quote me that, but for the longest time, they were just flying empty planes, right? And it's just like, why the fuck do you do that for, right? This is with aviation grinding to a halt and millions of people working from home, a range of emissions across many countries are likely following the same downward path, right? In terms of like pollution and all of that, right? So it goes to show you, that this man and his ways are, directly responsible for, for fucking up, the world, right? And there was a more telling picture, right, which was down over there in Italy, right? It says coronavirus unexpected silver lining is revealed in Italy, right? So you see there that, the river's all, all quiet and stuff, right? It says if there's something positive, from ordering 60 million people to basically be quarantined. Let's get to the point, man. That's why I like, I personally like, obviously you'll get bullshit on there, but that's why I kind of like Reuters news agency, Reuters. It just gets to the point. None of this fluff, right? It says that measure is now being followed in part in other European countries, ravaging Italy's economy, which contract by as much as 15%. So basically, the economy of Italy's might go down by like 15%. And once again, pollution levels going down over there, right? But you see, they're saying here, the plants are going back, this, that, and the other. I'm trying to see if they got a picture of the actual canal. Now they even have a picture of the canal, but on the canal, right? Other than that, but there's when you get like closer pictures of the canal, right? You basically see just how clean the water is now that people aren't there. In fact, let me see if I can what do you call it, if I can find something real quick. Here we go. So you see that shit, empty, right? Damn, why are you gonna show me the picture there? I'm not, just like, if you bear with me while I just find, there you go. You can actually see the fish for once. There was even one picture with some with some little dolphins going up in there, right? So, why am I going into all of this, man? Because look, this is how the earth is going to be when this man is destroyed. The earth, because you read Genesis, the first chapter, right? It speaks about how what do you call it? The Most High planted a garden eastward in Eden. It was the first or second chapter, right? And it says eastward in Eden, right? Because the whole earth is Eden, and Eden means paradise. And the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, this place was supposed to be a paradise, right? But this man has gone around, and all these heathens have had their part, right? And when these other heathens were in rulership, whatever, what have you. But this man in particular, he's done some damage to this earth, man, right? All of this air travel, this car travel, all this concrete, all of this plastic, right? All of these cities, right? They're destroying the earth. This over production of food, right? Over farming, right? It's destroying the earth, right? So, and looking at what's happening to the world now, people are basically quarantined, all over the world, right? You're basically seeing just how beautiful the earth can be, and how how just it's just looking forward to the kingdom. It's like, man, there is actually some beautiful places on this world, on this earth, right? But everywhere this man goes, it's just a trail of destruction, right? This is Isaiah 14:7. It says, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellows come upon us, right? So, the whole earth is going to be at rest, right? And, even the trees, this man's over cutting the trees so that he can, make farms for McDonald's and all of this shit, right? Because that's what it is. It's bullshit, man. What this man is doing to the earth, is promoting his fast life when the simple life is the better life, right? Community, of a village or whatever, small gathering of people, whatever, right? One guy is a baker, that's why you have names like Baker, right? One guy is a miller, that's why you get names like Miller, right? One guy is your Smith, that's why you get names like Smith, right? And then you got different guys, different people, different families who are offering their same services, right? And yeah, you ain't got your iPads and your this and your that, but what you got around you, right, is what do you call it? Is clean, right? You've seen the chicken grow up that you're eating. You know what chicken laid the egg that you're eating, right? Hey, you collected the water you're drinking yourself, right? Or whatever system is there. But the way this man set this kingdom up, man, right now, that's why people in the West are so fucked up with this, and they're panic buying and shit, right? That's why the people in the West are so fucked up by this, because they've fallen into the ways that Esau was set up, right? This is Isaiah 24:5, says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, right? So that's starting off with Esau, but all the heathens in general, right? Because them Greeks aren't better, right? It says, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, broken the everlasting covenant, right? So all of these heathens don't follow, for instance, the land Sabbath, right? That's why they then have to spray the land with herbicides, which gives you cancer. But of course, when you got cancer, he then tells you not to take the herbs, but rather to go to him, right? So then now he's made money off you twice, right? And just proving that this man is the devil and he needs to be taken down, right? But I think also to consider is what you're seeing in terms of what's happening in, to the environment with this whole lockdown and people basically being put in quarantine, right? Cities being put in quarantine, countries being put into quarantine, right? What you're basically seeing is the reason why these elites want to basically kill off everyone bar 500 million people, right? So they only want 500 million people alive, right? Because they think that's the way you achieve a utopia. But what they don't understand, right, is they're the problem, right? Let me get this in Habakkuk. Right, it says Habakkuk 2:5, right? It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by one. This is philosophies, right? He is a proud man. Yeah, he thinks he is the Most High. Right? He thinks the way that to do things is the way that he says to do things. But the Lord has already set out a way to do things. But because he's proud, he disregards it. Right? It says neither keepeth at home. Right? And if that ain't Esau, I don't know what it is. Right? This man is in every other country. Right? He's got bases all over the world. He's got bases in his allies' countries. Right? It says who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied. Right? And he is as death. Right? Wherever he goes, he brings a trail of destruction with him. Right? So if he was to kill off 7.5 billion people, right? Let's say the Lord allowed him to do that, which he's not. The Most High is not going to allow Esau to kill off 7.5 billion people. You read that in Job when Esau was about to fill his belly. He accomplished what his thing, right? His plan. Then the Lord will take him out, right? So he ain't going to be able to achieve that. But let's say he did. He just end up destroying the earth still. Why? Because he is as death. Scriptures ask, can a leopard change its spots? So can an Ethiopian change his skin, or a leopard his spots? And the answer is no. Right? So then can you do good that are accustomed to do evil? So that it's in this man's spirit to be the devil. Right? So no matter what the setup is, if he's in rulership, this earth is just going to be destroyed. Right? And all the people going to die, which is why he has to be taken out. Right? Scripture says in so bad. This is it. It's in Matthew 24:22. It says, and except those days should be shortened, they should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Right? So Lord has to shorten these days. Otherwise, we all fucked. Right? But it goes on to say, but gathereth unto him all people and heapeth. But gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people, right? That melting pot, right? And are considered through the Spirit why he does that, right? This whole melting pot is so that then those people that have come from other countries can then export the American philosophies back home, right? Which is why, for instance, in my family, I'm originally Zimbabwean, right? If so called, right? But family in the West, here in the West, they send over the ideas of the West to the people living in Zimbabwe, right? And that's part of Esau's way of spreading that wine across the world, right? Because you might have a husband who, in fact, I'll give a real example. One of the East, right? Which I know a particular individual, right? What do you call it? A Moabite, so called, the Jake or whatever, right? But the way their parents, her parents still, the dad hits the mom, right? But they stay together, they love each other, whatever, right? But the Moabite, being westernized, you can't do that, whatever, right? Exporting the ideas of the West eastward, right? So Revelation 11:18 says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, right? And that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth, right? So basically seeing the transformation, although it's just been light, right? Seeing, how much things can get better, right? When this man's way of life isn't moving, right? His the commuting, the rat race and all of that, when all of that ain't happening, the trips to the coffee shop or whatever, when all of that isn't happening, right? then what do you call it? You see how much better the earth is going to be. So the Lord is going to destroy Esau for destroying this earth, for making this world, fucked up, right? Because he's the ruler of the earth at the moment. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the Lord gave you rulership over the earth, and you fucked it up. Right? So the Lord's going to make you pay, right? But that's all I got. So as always, Lord's Order was edifying. Until the next time, Shalom.